Hello internet, hello and welcome to this video. There are still a few heroes left in the original Dota that have not been ported to Dota 2 yet. And I've got to admit, I just got curious. Who are those heroes and what can they do? So I went ahead and took a look. Then I decided, maybe I'm not the only one that is curious. So I went ahead and created 3 videos for you. Today's video will cover all of the agility heroes that are still missing from Dota 2. Yesterday's video covered all of the intelligence heroes, and tomorrow's video will cover all of the strength heroes. So let's just get to it. First up is Set, the Arc Warden, a 625 range agility hero. Its first ability, Flux, slows down an enemy for 6 seconds by 50% and also deals a considerable amount of DPS. But there's a downside to this. This ability does nothing as long as there's a nearby enemy within a 225 AoE of the original target. His second ability, the Magnetic Field, will generate a field, surprise surprise, that buffs all allies as long as they are inside of it. They will gain 100% evasion and bonus attack speed. Spark Breath summons a trap after 3 seconds of materializing. This trap will stay in the targeted area until an enemy comes into a 375 radius of it. It will then chase down that enemy and deal a nice chunk of damage. His ultimate, Tempest Double, is without question the most interesting thing about the hero. It summons an exact copy of himself onto the map for 20 seconds. That copy can use all of his items and can use all of his spells. It will not deal less damage than he does. It is the exact same thing. The only limitation of the ultimate is that it cannot copy wards, Smoke of Deceit or a refresher orb. And of course it can also not drop items, that would be ridiculous. Next up is Terrorblade, the Soulkeeper, a melee agility hero that can shapeshift into a 500 ranged form. His first ability, Reflection, is a single target spell that will slow down an enemy in both attack and movement speed, and also summon an illusion of that enemy that attacks, well, your target enemy. That illusion will deal a percentage of target's enemy damage and is invulnerable. His second ability, Conjure Image, summons an illusion that will deal 60% of his attack damage in damage. This ability is very synergetic with his third ability, Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis shapeshifts Terrorblade into a ranged demon that will deal additional attack damage and have a 500 attack range. It also decreases his base attack time and increases his base HP regen. Illusions summoned after shapeshifting will also be shapeshifted. His ultimate, Sunder, exchanges his percentage of HP with the percentage of HP of an enemy hero. Yes, I'm not kidding. The exchange percentage of HP cannot drop below a certain threshold, however that threshold is 15% at max level. This ability seems very powerful. And last, but by no stretch of the imagination least, Xin, the Ember Spirit, a mini agility hero with enormous mobility. His first ability, Searing Chains, immobilizes up to 2 enemies around him, chaining them to the ground and dealing damage per second. The targets chosen are selected by a random chance. Slate of Fist allows you to select a huge AoE. Ember Spirit will then proceed to attack every unit in that AoE, dealing 50% less damage to creeps, but an additional bonus damage to enemy heroes. These attacks are just regular attacks that will apply every bonus effect like critical strike, bash, cleave, attack modifiers, everything. His third ability, Flame Guard, gives him an immolation effect around him which will deal damage per second to enemies in a radius of 400. It also will give him a shield to magic damage, absorbing up to 500 magic damage. The shield will disappear and with that the AoE effect of it once the damage threshold for damage absorbed has been broken. His ultimate, and if I'm allowed to give my personal opinion, seems really badass. Fire Remnant allows you to summon a Fire Remnant at a target location. Ember Spirit can then charge to that Fire Remnant, taking its place and dealing AoE damage around that Fire Remnant. The interesting thing about this ability is that it works based on charges. Summoning a Fire Remnant does not cost any mana, it just costs a charge of, well, a Fire Remnant. These charges work based on a cooldown, not on mana cost. Charging to a Fire Remnant, however, does cost mana. If you have multiple Fire Remnants active while trying to charge to one of them, you will charge through all of them and then deal an increased amount of damage to enemies around the target Remnant. I really like this hero. A lot. Let me be honest, like, this one is awesome.